Hey, I'm Alice, the Workshop and Community Outreach Manager here at the Edinburgh Tool Library. So we're going to teach you how to break down a pallet, and you can follow up with our second video to learn more about how to make a planter out of that pallet. Pallets are free and usually pretty easy to find. They come in a variety of different softwoods and hardwoods and are usually a pretty decent quality. It's a great way to reuse material that would go to the landfill otherwise, and usually it gives you a pretty good base structure for a project. Pallets, like we said, are a great material, but there's a few things that you should make note of. They can be chemically treated, although most of the time now they're heat treated. But you can find out where your pallet came from looking at some of the markings that should be on the side. If they're not there, you can still use it, but be cautious, you won't know where it came from. So like with any project, you should always think about health and safety before you begin. You'll always want to have your PPE gear, so safety glasses, gloves for those splinters, and ear defenders for one of the techniques we'll be using. So when you are breaking down a pallet, you want to pick the best tool for the job. I'm going to start with using a pallet breaker. This is something you can buy at Screwfix, but we would recommend joining your local tool library so you can borrow one for the weekend. So basically what you're going to do, slip it under here, have it rest on that prong, use your boot and your body weight for leverage, and pull up from there. Pull it up that way. And go along like this. Again, getting that leverage, getting your prongs fully underneath so you're not splitting your wood. Go all the way along. And I'll be able to use this whole piece. With this method, the circular saw, you'll be cutting along the interior here and getting pieces as long as the interior of that pallet. First, we're going to start out with doing a little measurement and go as close as you can to this piece of wood so that you get the most out of your material. And go along the material like this, getting as close as you can without actually hitting into that piece. Now that we've done our marking, I'm going to go along and cut each piece of this. That'll mean that I have the material from here to here to work with. So you want to make sure that your saw is at the right depth to do your cut. You want to make sure that your saw is going at full speed before it enters the material. And again, always be checking for those nail screws and staples to make sure that nothing is in your path. Line up here. Thanks so much for watching. You can borrow all of these tools and more by joining the Edinburgh Tool Library. If you're not local, definitely keep an eye out for your local tool library, or if you don't have one, start one. It's the best way to make in a sustainable way, share skills, and build community.